Hey, let's get straight to the painful stuff. And for the next 10 minutes, you will learn exactly how to break free from this mental prison. If you're over 30 right now, especially 35, and you constantly feel like you're falling behind in life, you know this feeling. It's not about wrinkles. It's the 35-year-old ghost, an invisible, crushing feeling that you are running late. You open your feed or go to a high school reunion. There he is, your former colleague. Stable marriage, mortgage, vice president title, and a perfect filtered Bali vacation. You look at that and your low self esteem hits you right in the gut. You ask yourself that eternal drilling question: am I even going the right way? Am I on time? And let's talk about the comparison trap, which leads us to the main problem and why we are actually the directors of our own lives. And here is the paradox: we are the directors of our own lives. We are standing on the verge of another incredibly important spiral of inner freedom. And by the way, I talked in the detail about this journey in my video about the victim mentality. But instead of writing our own script, we watch someone else's successful movie and try to play the leading role in it. We don't ask ourselves, do I really want that life? We ask, how do I copy what they are showing to finally get their approval? Today we are going to figure out how to stop comparing yourself to others. And first, why your brain is programmed for this suffering. Second, how we can free ourselves from the myth of must be done by theory. And finally, the most important thing, how you can finally become the director of your own life. And now, before we jump into the solution, we need to analyze what exactly we are comparing. Let's look at the setup that is making us lose this game by comparing two incompatible realities: the stage versus backstage. The first is the stage. This is a bright, filtered image of someone else's success. It's only the final act, the applause, the expensive car, the perfect apps. This image is created purely to inspire envy. The second is your backstage. This is your life. Your anxiety, unpaid bills, the jobs at 3 a.m. It's the dirty dishes and the heavy unseen work you do every day just to hold yourself together. We always lose this comparison because we are juxtaposing our messy real backstage with a bright fake stage. Now, for the most interesting point, why can't we just stop looking at the stage? Because it's a biological trap, specifically a rush of dopamine and the empty stimulus. Comparison activates the dopamine centers in the brain, our reward system. Someone else's success is a signal to your brain. There is a reward. Compare yourself. Find a flow, jump higher, and you'll get the dopamine. The problem is that we are subconsciously look for flows in ourselves to find motivation. But in 99% of cases, we get disappointment and a new spiral of low self-esteem, not motivation. Social media is an endless but empty dopamine stimulus. It's like trying to satisfy hunger by looking at pictures of food. Besides that, there is another important point concerning the illusion of confidence. Believe me, even those you consider the most successful worry before they step onto that stage. They doubt, they get tired. The illusion they sell is their product. Don't confuse the product with reality. You are not a product, you are a person. And now let's speak about the mental cage that has trapped us for so long. The myth that we must achieve everything by certain age. This is the first step toward true freedom. We are the generation that received the harshest mandates. You must have a stable job by 30. You must start a family. You must find yourself. And if you haven't achieved this, you automatically feel like a failure. This mental framework leaves no room for your personal development. But let's look at this differently. Life is not a checklist. The value of your life is not measured by a check mark next to a goal, but by how you traveled the path and what you gained from that experience. Debunking this myth is not permission to be lazy, it is permission to choose your own honest pace. This is the first most important step toward becoming the director. And let's look at what true freedom really means and how it connects to the superpower of boredom that we discussed in our previous video. I know this feeling. I often blamed people who I thought lived a boring life. Young people say, we genuinely want a stable office job. That seemed boring to me. And I judged them because as someone with ADHD, I need constant stimulation. But that's also comparison. I was imposing my script on them. And true freedom is respect for someone else's choice. If a person genuinely wants stability, that is their true, conscious script. And we have no right to judge them. And here we return to our previous topic. Boredom is okay. Boredom is not laziness, boredom is time for reflection. For your brain to finally ask, what do I want? Our boredom, which is a superpower, and someone else's stability, these are two different but equally valuable scripts. The main thing is that they are chosen by us, not imposed. To begin recognizing your own value, you need to first tool, and I call it the achievement list. You need a private, non-public achievement list. It shouldn't list millions of subscribers for your YouTube channel. It should contain small things you did for yourself. Read a difficult book, quit a toxic relationship, overcome anxiety. This is your personal re-evaluation of what success is. When you recognize how much invisible work you have done, someone else's stage will lose its power over you. Our comparison trap is fueled by fear, specifically the fear of judgment. And now let's return to science and talk about why we fear others' opinions so much. There is a scientifically proven phenomenon that creates this low self-esteem, the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is a cognitive bias where we catastrophically overestimate how much others notice our failures or appearance. We think a bright spotlight is constantly aimed at us. You think everyone noticed you misspeaking during the Zoom meeting or spilling coffee. This fuels imposter syndrome. But here's the truth. Other people just like you are absorbed in their own backstage. They are thinking about their mortgage and what their boss told them. To them, you are just an episodic character. The conclusion is simple, and it gives us incredible freedom. The opinions of others do not have the power we assign to them. The fear of criticism is the fear of a non-existent spotlight. Therefore, practice external anonymity. Accept that you are just a fleeting shadow in someone else's life. This frees you from self-monitoring and allows you to focus on your own priorities. Now, here's the real hidden roadblock. Even when we accept that others aren't watching, we still don't act. Why? Because the greatest challenge isn't the audience. It's the fear of the ugly first draft. This creates the tyranny of the perfect grand goal. You want your first attempt at a new career, a new skill, or a new habit to look like an expert's work right from day one. You feel you must launch a flawless product, speak a language fluently, or have a perfect body immediately. But perfection is the greatest paralyzer. It forces you to stay safe in your current misery, your familiar backstage, because attempting something new means risking a public or even private flop. And let me tell you, the only way you fail is not to start. Your first script, your first move, your first business idea will be messy. It will be an ugly first draft. The real power of being the director isn't getting it right the first time. It's having the courage to write, direct, and edit the second draft. The comparison trap keeps you stuck by demanding professional results from amateur effort. Stop asking, will this be good enough for them? And start asking, does this move me forward? We've diagnosed the problem, understood the biology, and faced the fear. Now let's make a plan. It's time to stop the comparison trap and start acting on your own script. So we come to the most important question: how to start acting. Now, here are three specific steps that will help you build your own script. Step 1 is breaking the comparison loop. Your task is to limit social media, especially when you're vulnerable or tired. Don't scroll, create. Replace the empty dopamine from scrolling with clean dopamine from creating something, working on your project, a hobby, or sport. This is directly related to how you manage your focus, which we talked about in the video about ADHD. Step 2 is the 10% rule for others. The goal of this is to accept routine. Your task is to accept that 10% of your life will be dedicated to things you don't like, but which are necessary: office routine, taxes, or boring meetings. The result of this step is that this 10% is the price for ability to manage the remaining 90% of your life and spend it on your true script. Step 3 is the self-worth capsule. The goal of this is to create your own non-public source of approval. Your task is to create a place where only your victories are stored: a folder, a notebook, or a private document where you keep your achievement list, thank you letters, or quotes from books. The result? This is your personal, uncorruptible Instagram. When your self-esteem drops, you open this capsule and see objective proof that you are valuable, regardless of what the feed shows. Your value does not depend on likes, external approval, or completing a must be done by 30 checklist. The only director and the only critic that matters is you. Stop wasting time comparing your backstage to someone else's stage. Your life is an adventure that you need to live. Start living by your own script today. If this topic resonated with you, hit the like button. It helps YouTube understand that this content is important. Subscribe to the channel and build your life consciously. And be sure to watch my previous video about why seeking external approval is the quickest path to unhappiness. And now for the maximum honesty question. Write in the comments, what is the one thing from someone else's stage, car, title, relationship that pressures you the most? Let's talk about it and see you in a happy life. Namaste.